it's me. If you've ever stood in the middle of a messy room looking around and feeling totally stuck, you're not alone. That cycle of cleaning over and over only to see the mess creep back in, it's exhausting. The house might look clean for a minute, but it still feels like everything's spilling out. I've been there too. At times, I didn't even know where to begin, or I'd think maybe I'll just leave it. But after struggling with clutter for a long time, I found a few small but powerful tricks that made a big difference. And today I'm sharing 12 simple tips to help you keep your space calmer without cleaning non-stop. In the last video, we talked about why having a tidy living space is so important for your mental and physical health. And if you've tried implementing some of those small organizing tips, I bet you've already started to feel a little lighter, right? Today we're going to take it a step further. These tips aren't just abstract theories or motivational ideas. They're strategies I use every day. Simple, practical things that have saved me time, reduced stress, and made my space truly comfortable. After this video, you'll have a much easier time tackling your clutter without feeling overwhelmed. So if you've been feeling like everything is piling up and you're not sure where to begin, stick with me for a little longer. These tips will help you untangle some of that mess. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever stood there staring at a pile of stuff, unsure where to even begin? It's overwhelming, right? The constant clutter makes it harder to figure out what to keep and what to get rid of. But what if I told you that limiting your space could actually make those decisions a lot easier? Take a small box and tell yourself, I'll only keep the things that fit into this box. When your space is limited, it forces you to be more intentional about what you keep. Suddenly, the clutter becomes much more manageable, and you'll find yourself parting with things that no longer serve you without the emotional struggle. For example, I did this with a drawer filled with small random items. I asked myself if I really needed each one. Once I set a limit, I only kept the things I used often. The rest, it was time to let go. By limiting your space, you not only make faster decisions, but also create a sense of openness that makes everything feel lighter. This shift in perspective will keep you motivated to keep decluttering because the process will feel less like a daunting task. I'll continue with more decluttering suggestions in tomorrow's video, so be sure to stay tuned. Now let's move on to the next approach, which is all about starting with the easy stuff. Have you ever found yourself staring at a cluttered closet or a full drawer feeling completely lost? It's not only overwhelming, but it can feel like you're standing in front of a mountain with no idea where to start. The key here is to begin with the easiest items first. Instead of diving straight into the things that are emotionally difficult to part with, start with what simple things you haven't used in months or items that don't hold any significant meaning. When you begin with these, it makes the process feel more achievable and less daunting. For instance, I started by cleaning out my junk drawer. There were pens, old receipts, and random bits of paper I'd forgotten about. After a few minutes, I had a whole pile of things to toss, and it felt so good. Once I saw how much I'd gotten rid of, I was more motivated to tackle the rest of the space. Starting with the easy stuff is a great way to build momentum. It gives you that immediate satisfaction of making progress, which will keep you going when you face the more difficult decisions later. Now let's talk about creating a system to organize your space without feeling overwhelmed. Trying to declutter an entire room can feel like you're tackling an impossible task. It's like staring at a mountain and thinking, how on earth am I supposed to climb that? It's easy to get overwhelmed when everything is piled together and you don't even know where to begin. The secret is simple. Break your space into smaller areas. Instead of thinking about decluttering your entire living room or bedroom, focus on one section at a time, a shelf, a drawer, or even just a corner. This makes the task feel more manageable and allows you to see progress more quickly. Trust me, no one expects you to declutter the whole house in one afternoon. Even Marie Kondo needs a snack break. For example, I started with my desk. It was covered in papers. random office supplies, and things I hadn't touched in ages. Instead of cleaning the whole office at once, I focused only on the top of my desk. Once that was done, I could move on to the drawers, then the shelves, one step at a time. Bonus points if you find a long-lost pen you forgot you had. By breaking down the task into smaller areas, you avoid feeling overwhelmed, and the visible progress will motivate you to keep going. It's all about taking it step by step and not trying to do everything in one go. So don't stress, just focus on that one corner and maybe take a moment to admire your newly found pens. Now that we've got the space under control, let's dive into how to decide what stays and what goes without feeling guilty. We've all been there holding on to something just because it has sentimental value or because we're not sure when we might need it. But if you really want to declutter your space, you need to ask yourself the right questions to help decide what to keep and what to let go. Instead of holding on to items out of guilt or nostalgia, start asking yourself, does this item serve me right now? Is it helping me become the person I want to be, or is it just taking up space? If it doesn't serve a purpose in your current life, it's time to let it go. For example, I had a bunch of old notebooks from school and work filled with notes I never looked at. At first, I felt like I couldn't throw them away. They were full of memories after all. But then I asked myself, am I really going to use these again? The answer was a solid no. So I recycled them, and it was honestly a relief to free up that space. Asking these simple questions forces you to think about whether the item is adding value to your life. It helps you focus on what truly matters and clears out the things that don't. With this mindset, it's easier to make decisions and let go of items without feeling bad about it. Now that we're deciding what stays and what goes, let's look at how we can organize what we keep in a way that makes our space feel more peaceful. We all know how easy it is for things to accumulate on flat surfaces. The kitchen counter, the dining table, your desk. One minute it's clean and the next it's cluttered with random items. It's like they have a magical ability to multiply overnight. The key here is to not let things pile up in the first place. Create designated spots for everything. That means having a place for your keys, male sunglasses, or whatever else tends to land on your table. When you have a spot for everything, it's much easier to keep your surfaces clear and your space feeling tidy. For example, I set up a small basket by the front door for keys and mail. Every time I walk in, I put my keys in the basket and I sort through the mail right away. It's a simple habit, but it makes a huge difference. I no longer have piles of papers stacking up on the kitchen counter or random objects cluttering up my desk. By clearing your surfaces as you go, you prevent the clutter from building up, and it's much easier to maintain a tidy space. Plus, it feels amazing to walk into a room and see clean, clear surfaces. Now that we've tackled the surface clutter, let's talk about a system to help you stay organized long-term without feeling overwhelmed. Decluttering isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about creating a system that helps you stay organized in the long run. Once you've cleared out the unnecessary stuff, you need a system that keeps things in order without overwhelming you. The secret is simple: set up routines and places for things. Instead of letting clutter pile up again, organize your items in a way that's easy to maintain. Whether it's sorting your mail as soon as you get it, or putting things back in their place after using them, these small habits will help you keep the mess from creeping back in. For example, I created a simple filing system for my documents. I keep a folder for important papers, another one for bills, and one for random receipts. It takes just a few minutes to organize, and I never have to deal with paper piles anymore. I also do a quick check every weekend to make sure everything is still in its place, and it's made a huge difference. By creating a system like this, you're not just decluttering, you're building sustainable habits that will keep your space neat and organized for the long term. The best part is that it doesn't take a lot of time, but the impact is huge. Now that we've set up a long-term organization system, let's look at how we can make sure our space stays clutter-free with just a little effort every day. One of the easiest ways to keep your space clutter-free is by doing quick daily checks. It's all about dedicating just a few minutes each day to tidy up the small things that have piled up. By making this a daily habit, you'll prevent clutter from taking over your space, and it won't feel like such a big chore. For instance, every night before bed, I spend just 5 to 10 minutes picking up items around the house, folding the blankets, putting away dishes, and tossing out any random bits of trash that accumulate. It's amazing how much of a difference those few minutes make the next morning when I wake up to a clean space. Plus, it helps me mentally unwind knowing that everything is in its place. If you think you don't have time, think about it this way: 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day is a lot less time than a full afternoon of cleaning on the weekend. By keeping it quick and consistent, you'll avoid the dreaded clutter explosion that feels impossible to tackle. These small daily habits are what will keep your space in check without it ever becoming overwhelming. Now that we've got daily checks in place, let's move on to how to deal with sentimental items that you just can't seem to part with. We've all been there holding on to something just because it has sentimental value. It could be an old gift, a keepsake, or something that reminds us of a time or person we care about. The emotional connection makes it hard to let go, but if we're not careful, these items can start taking up precious space. The trick is to acknowledge the memory and then let go. You don't have to keep everything just because it has sentimental value. Instead, take a moment to appreciate what it represents, then decide if it's something you truly need in your life right now. For example, I had a box full of old cards, tickets, and souvenirs from trips. At first, I couldn't imagine parting with them, but after looking through them, I realized I could take photos of some and keep the memories without holding on to the physical items. It's a great way to preserve the sentiment without the clutter. The key is to remember that the memory doesn't live in the object, it lives in you. By letting go of things that no longer serve you, you're making space for new memories, experiences, and growth. Once you've tackled the sentimental items, it's time to dive into creating a system for things that are actually useful in your life. Paper clutter can easily become one of the most overwhelming types of mess, especially when you keep putting it off. Bills, receipts, school papers, or random notes, they all pile up quickly, and before you know it, you've got a mountain of paper to deal with. The key is to handle it immediately instead of letting it sit. As soon as you get any kind of paper mail, receipts, or documents, deal with it right away. Open the mail as soon as you get it and decide whether you need to keep it or toss it. If it's something important, file it in the appropriate place. If it's not, throw it away immediately. The faster you deal with it, the less it piles up. For example, I used to leave all my mail on the counter for days, sometimes weeks. Now I go through it right when I bring it inside. I recycle junk mail sort bills into a to-pay folder and toss anything I don't need. It's a quick habit that's made a huge difference in reducing the paper clutter in my home. By handling paper clutter immediately, you prevent it from turning into a never-ending task. And once you establish this habit, it won't feel overwhelming anymore. Plus, you'll never have to waste time looking for important papers again now. That we've got paper clutter under control, let's talk about organizing your digital space so that your phone, laptop, and online files stay as neat as your home. Just as physical clutter can pile up, so can your digital clutter. Emails, photos, documents, apps, it's easy for things to get disorganized and start causing stress. The key here is to organize your digital space just as you would your physical space. Start by sorting through your emails. Unsubscribe from unnecessary newsletters and delete emails you no longer need. Next, organize your phone and computer by creating folders for specific categories, work, personal bills, etc. I started by cleaning up my phone's photo album. I deleted duplicates, organized photos by events, and created folders for all the random screenshots that were piling up. It felt like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. A clean digital space not only helps you stay on top of things, but it also reduces mental clutter. When your devices are organized, you spend less time searching for things and more time focusing on what matters. Take just 15 minutes every week to do a quick digital declutter, whether it's deleting old emails, organizing your files, or cleaning up your phone. It's a small time investment that'll pay off in the long run. With your digital space organized, it's time to talk about how to stay consistent with your decluttering routine. Now that we've tackled some big areas of clutter, let's talk about staying consistent with your decluttering efforts. It's easy to fall back into old habits and let clutter creep back into your space. The solution: set up a weekly declutter routine. Pick one day each week, maybe a Sunday evening or a Saturday morning, to do a quick check on your home. It doesn't have to be a long or intense process, just a quick sweep through your main living areas to make sure things aren't piling up again. Focus on areas like countertops, your desk, or your entryway. It's about keeping small clutter from becoming a big issue again. For example, every Saturday, I spend 15 minutes tidying up the kitchen counters, sorting through any paperwork that's accumulated, and organizing my living room. It's like a mini reset that sets me up for a more peaceful week ahead. It only takes a short amount of time, but it makes a big difference in how my space feels. By setting a weekly routine, you're not only staying on top of things, but also preventing the overwhelm that comes with letting clutter pile up. This small habit will keep your space in check, and it's a lot less stressful than waiting for the clutter to become unmanageable. Now that you've got a routine in place, let's talk about how to keep your home clutter-free in the long term without feeling like it's a constant battle. When decluttering, we often focus on what we're keeping, but we also need to think about what we're letting go of. If there are items you no longer use or need, consider giving them away, rather than throwing them out. It's a way to declutter with purpose, knowing your things can be helpful to someone else. Take a moment to think about those items that are just sitting there, gathering dust clothes you haven't worn in months, furniture that's been replaced, or books you've already read. Instead of tossing them, consider donating or gifting them. Not only will you create more space for things that truly matter, but you'll also be giving someone else the opportunity to benefit from what you no longer need. For instance, I recently went through my closet and found several jackets and dresses I haven't worn in years. Instead of throwing them away, I donated them to a local charity. It felt great knowing someone else could put them to good use. Plus, it helped me clear out space for new clothes I actually wear. Donating or giving away what you no longer need is a powerful way to declutter with heart. It makes the process feel more fulfilling and less wasteful while also contributing to your community. So when you're letting go of things, think about how they can be passed on to someone who will truly appreciate them. Now that we've cleared out the clutter, let's talk about how to maintain the clean or organized space you've worked so hard for. So those are the steps I found most helpful in creating a space that feels lighter, more organized, and honestly, more peaceful. It's not about perfection, it's about making small, consistent changes that build up over time. And by following these steps, you'll find yourself not only decluttering your home, but also decluttering your mind. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember, start small, set a routine, and don't be too hard on yourself. It's all about progress, not perfection. The more you make decluttering a part of your regular routine, the easier and more natural it will become. And if you're ready to take your organizing to the next level, try implementing 1 or 2 tips from today's video and stick with it for a week. Trust me, you'll see results, and the best part is it won't feel like a huge burden. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You deserve a home that feels calm and refreshing every day.